All right, letter D is another one we're going to need to just make a picture for. Um, in letter D, we have a cylindrical natural gas pipeline supported at 2 points that are 10% the diameter of the pipeline above its lowest point. Okay, so whoa, that's a lot going on there. I'm just going to say this. You're going to have some problems where you're doing this. You're making a circle that looks sort of like this, okay? And then what we're going to do is put some lines in our circle, and we're going to assume that there's a line that crosses down here. Okay. And at these ends is where this pipeline is supported, here and here. That's 10% of the diameter above the lowest point. But let me put that lowest point in. In fact, I'm just going to put that whole diameter in. That's this right here. Okay, the diameter of the pipeline is 4 feet 9 inches. Now, hold on. I can't work in feet and inches. I'm going to turn everything to inches. 4 feet is 48 inches. Okay, plus an additional 9. 48 plus 9 is 57 inches. So this whole diameter is 57 inches. I'm just going to put that in for a second. But wait. Um, 10%. So this line across is 10% of the diameter on the bottom and 90% on the top. What's 10% of 57? It's 5.7. So that means that this little measure way down here is 5.7. Okay. And then this was 57. 57 minus 5.7 is 51.3. 51.3 inches of this pipeline is above this bottom line where we drew between the two supports. And then 5.7 inches is below. This is 10% of the diameter. If you multiply 57 times 90%, you get 51.3. 90% of the diameter is above. So do you see what I had to do was figure out for this chord, how much of this chord lies on one side of this line and how much lies on the other side. Now, the question is, how far apart are the supports? I need to know this length of this line. What am I going to put in for the length of that line for now? Well, I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to call it X. Okay? And there's going to be X on this side and X on the other side. So how am I going to set this up? Well, looking at this, I could set this up like all of the other ones so far. It's just going to be 51.3 times 5.7 equals x squared, x times x. So I need to do 51.3 times 5.7 and take the square root. Let's get a calculator and do that. So I need the square root of 51.3 times 5.7. I get 17.1 inches. Now, I could say 17 inches is 1 foot and 5 inches. 1 foot and 5.1 inches. Let's see if we did this right. Now, keep in mind, by the way, that's one side. So I need to actually multiply this by 2 to get how far apart the two supports are. So 34.2, that's 2 feet and 10.2 inches. Let's see how our answer calls it. 2 feet and 10 inches. So they rounded down to the nearest inch. But all I did was I calculated what X was, and then I doubled it to find how far apart the supports were. That is how you work this sort of problem. Pretty easy. I think you're going to find that these problems are pretty easy to work. The word problems are a little difficult. You should be ready to work the problem set for next time.